In Colossians 1:3, we meet a very common adverbial participle, and we also have an interesting question of where to attach an adverb. Eucharistumen to Theo, patri tu Kyriou hemon, Jesu Christu, pantote, peri humon, prasuchamenoi. We give thanks, or we are giving thanks, to God, and then you have this appositional patri, and in English we'd have to say the Father of our Lord, and another appositional phrase, Jesus Christ. Then here's this adverb, always, we'll come back to it, for you all praying. Okay, let's look at pantoti and then the participle. Where does pantoti go? Is Paul always giving thanks, or is he doing this always when he prays? Most translations take pantoti back with eucharistumen. NASB does it with the participle. It can't technically go either, but it's more Pauline style to connect it back to eucharistumen. But let's center in on this participle. If you just went with the ing word, it doesn't make any sense, does it? We give thanks to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, always for you praying. Well, that's not really English. So this is one of those situations in which the ing simply doesn't work. And then you got to figure out what are the different ways in which adverbial participles are used. Adverbial, there's no article with it. So what are the options? And this is a very common temporal participle. Because it's present tense, it's describing an action that is occurring at the same time as the main verb. And so you can use the key terms when or while, whatever fits the context. So when does he give thanks? It is while he is praying. Now, when we get into these kinds of passages in Paul, this is when phrasing gets to be really fun. And we're going to have to really ask the questions of what is modifying what if we're going to understand the flow of Paul's rather long sentences. So, we're giving thanks to God. Who is God? Well, he's the Father of our Lord. And if you wanted to, you could say, who's our Lord? It's Jesus Christ. And then always, prepositional phrase, for you all praying. So this would easily go under Theo. Who's God? He's the Father of our Lord. Who is Jesus Christ? He is our Lord. So that's pretty straightforward. And then you have to decide what does pantoti go with. And let me emphasize, this is one of the real values of phrasing. You got to stick it under something. You have to make the exegetical decision. Phrasing forces you to do that. Well, if it goes under giving thanks, then we would just indent it that way. Perihumon, in that case, would be who is Paul giving thanks for? And your temporal participle is telling you when he's giving thanks. Now, if you think pantoti goes with prasuchamenoi, then you would want to indent it something like that to make it clear that these two ideas are relative to your prayer. But if you think that pantoti goes with the indicative verb, then you would phrase it the other direction.